3 multiplying fractions by whole numbers. So if I'm looking at this word of, and I'm thinking of a word problem, okay, so one of the things that it's important to know is what words mean, and word problems and of is going to be multiply. So if I said I have 2 of 6, that would mean 2 times 6. Just like if I said I have 1/2 of 6, it's the same for fractions. That means I have 1/2 multiplied by 6. And this is the same kind of format as what we have been using and looking at. So now, if I'm looking here, I have 11/3 of 15. Now this can be written in a couple different ways, but I'm wanting to show you the order of operations. So I could say, right, I have 11 times 15, right, divided by 3. Okay, because we know that 11 times 15 is going to be like this, but I couldn't write it like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you to pause the video, and I want you to see if this is true. Okay, you're going to do 11 times 15 first, and then I want you to do 15 divided by 3 first and see if there's a difference. Okay, pause the video. All right, welcome back. So 11 times 15, and obviously using my calculator here real fast. So I have 165 divided by 3, right? And that is going to be equal to 55. Now, this side over here, I'm going to start with this in here. And notice I'm not going to use my calculator. So 15 divided by 3 is 5 times 11, and that is 55. So which side was easier? Okay, obviously this side. Why is this side easier? Well, because we're dividing first, so we're using smaller numbers that are easier to manipulate and deal with and break apart. Okay, so what about trying 3 1/3 of 6? So if I'm trying to take 3 1/2 of 6, I'm going to look at this 2. So let's just look at the half first. If I'm looking at a half, only the half, and I'm looking at that on a number line, and it's going to fall in between 0 and 1. It's going to be right in the middle there, right where you expect it to be. So now I'm going to try to think about 3 1/2. What numbers would that be between? It's definitely not going to be between 1 and 0 anymore. Right? It is going to be in between 3 and 4, and it's going to sit right there in the middle, right? Okay, so 3 1/2 is halfway in between 4 and 3. So if I think about 3 times 6 and 4 times 6, right? 3 times 6 is going to be 18, and 4 times 6 is going to be 24. I can make that number line, and I can say 24, and I can say 18, and I'm just going to find the number that's in the middle by working, whoopsies, 22, and this one in the middle here is going to be 21. So the answer there is going to be 21. So 3 1/2 of 6 is going to be 21. Now we're going to come back to this in a couple slides, so just make sure you're paying attention to that. All right, so instead now, let's do 3 1/3 of 6. So if I think about a number line again, 3 and 4, and then if I'm dividing into thirds, this would be 1/3, this would be 2/3, right? So right here. Now, if I'm going to think about where this big number line here, so this is going to be 6 times 4, so this is going to be 24, right? What we're between. And this is going to be 6 times 3, and that is 18. Okay? And again, we're going to think this is 19, this is 20, this is 21, this is 22, and this is 23. If we were going to divide this into thirds, okay, I would be dividing, my dividing lines would be here and here, so that they're evenly spaced. So I can look quickly at this number line and I know that the answer to that is 20. Now, let me just double check this. So I have 3 1/3 times 6. So I'm going to just change this because I like to do it that way. So 9, 10. So that is 10 thirds times 6, which would be 60 over 30, which is going to be 2. Right? Those cancel each other out. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Okay. Oops. I am wrong here. This is 60 divided by 3, which is 20. Okay, and that is our answer there. Now, looking back here, okay, actually I'm going to come back to that in a bit. All right, we'll do this one now the same way. I want you to pause and I want you to do this one exactly the same way. So I have 4 1/3. I know that that's in between 4 and 5, so I know that I can go 6 times 5 and 6 times 4 on the number line. Okay, this would be 30, this would be 24, and so we're going to go in the middle. So this is 25, 29, 28, 26, and then 27. It's not perfectly spaced. Okay, so now looking at this, if I was going to divide this up into thirds, okay, it would be these two numbers here. And then this is 1/3, so my answer would be 26. I can double check this. So 4 1/3, that's going to be 12, 13 over 3 times 6. So that is going to be 13 times 6 is going to be 78 divided by 3, and that is 26. Okay, so we've already done this back there, and we found on the number line that the answer is 21. So what I would like you to do right now is to prove it and actually work this out. All right, welcome back. So hopefully I'm going to change this back into my mixed number. So that is 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7 halves times 6. Okay, and 7 times 6 is 42. And then if I divide by 2, because I want to get it into the lowest form, right, that is 20, that is 1. And so if we go back, and that's what we got there as an answer as well, 21. So you can do it in either way. If I was going to ask you to prove something, I would usually do this, have you work it out, and then have you prove it using a number line. So that's just something to practice. All right, I am not giving you these answers. You will work these out, and then you're going to share with your friends. So the challenge here, 1/3 and 2/6 are equivalent to each other. Does multiplying by 2/6 result in the same answer as multiplying by 1/3? So I'd like you to do that, and then I'd like you to answer this question. Okay, does it? And you're going to answer yes or no. So you're going to pause here and work that out with your group. And then here, there's another challenge. So I want you to use what you've learned in this lesson and do this question. So figure out how to do this question. Remember, you can do a question. These are multiplying in any order that you want. That's my hint. All right, make sure that you check in with me before we go.